welcome to the DMF. I am your host, Justin Yantz, and this is episode 73. And this is the wrestling show. And I'm going to talk about, quite frankly, why Peacock sucks. I'm going to talk about AEW, I'm going to talk about Raw, SmackDown, and I'm going to talk about Raw moments. So stay tuned. So, let's talk about why Peacock sucks. Here's my problem. So, the WWE Network, they started the migration over to Peacock, which means Peacock will be the WWE hub, which, alright, let's look at it. We're going to go through it right now. So, I'm going on to the Peacock app. I'm going to show you this. Now, the first thing you get is a trending. There's channels, there's browse. Now, if we click on Browse and we go to these top categories right here and we click on WWE, that will bring us into the WWE hub. Now, here we have the birth of the Stunner, WWE Fastlane 2021, NXT, the day of. These are just kind of like the little things on the top of the bumper there. Then we go down here, we have Originals. We have featured series. Oh, wait, that's actually new. That's actually not bad. Okay, that's kind of good. That's kind of like the WWE Network. So now if we click on WWE Raw, unfortunately, they only go up to 14 seasons, which is unfortunate because I want to see all the seasons. We have live and upcoming. Then we go down here. We have pay-per-view specials. Now, here's my problem with the pay-per-view specials. When you click on Royal Rumble and you want to watch, it has them all under season. So you have like season 34, season 33. I'm like, nobody wants to search through it by season. Like season 10 would be 1997 Royal Rumble. So they've got to fix that. Hopefully they'll fix that soon. Because that's frustrating. We have another bumper here called Stone Cold Said So, which has got a bunch of little things there. That's not bad. Then we have WWE, WCW series and specials, and that has the ECW and the WCW. Then we have the People's Picks, which has the Rundown and Young Rock. Then we have recently added. We have WWE Superstar Playlist, Women of WWE, The Attitude Era, The Road to WrestleMania, No Guts, No Glory, Share, Shows and Events A to Z, which, just shows they still don't have very many. They really need to continue to fix this, but my frustrations with this is they made this deal like 3 weeks ago, and now they think they're just going to shove all this stuff on here, and we're supposed to wait till September to watch this? September to have the full thing? Now, the great compromise would be leave the regular WWE network up so people can still use that, as well as, and keep all the new things coming to the Peacock. So the WWE network would just be a hub for old things, and the Peacock would just be for the new things until they've got everything set up. Because this is just frustrating. So we're supposed to pay for 4 months till August till they've set this whole thing up. I mean, they don't have a pause button on here. One thing I do like is I like the channel. The WWE channel is not bad. So, they've actually got a lot of stuff like Royal Rumble. Wow. Showing WrestleMania 30, WrestleMania 32. So it's not bad. I kind of like it because it's it doesn't look like it's programmed just by WWE Network, the original WWE Network. Because if we go to the old WWE Network, which we still have here, let's look at what their programming was for today. And it's all just, let's see here. What would we have for today? Let's see here. Okay, watch now. So yeah, we'd have Heaven, all this other stuff. They just have 15. They just show the Broken Skull sessions every single minute of every day, it feels like. So I like the programming of the channels that Peacock is doing, because it seems like they're actually taking into account what fans would actually want to see. So that's some good positives here. But the bad thing is they can't put everything under season and things like that. It's not a television show. They can't just do that. So hopefully they'll fix this and it'll all be ready soon, maybe in a month or so. It'll be pretty good. That would be nice. So that's all I've got to say about that. And when we come back, I will talk about AEW Dynamite. AEW. So we have probably one of the best women's matches you will ever see. And this was the Lights Out match. This was what they promoted as the main event of AEW Dynamite this week. And it was Thunder Rosa versus Britt Baker, Dr. Britt Baker. And they had a Lights Out match. And oh my, what an amazing match. If you've never seen women on the national stage bleed before, and here they did not just bleed, they bled, as some would say, the crimson mask, the, just a faucet of blood, ladder shots, stiff, hard hitting. They brought out thumbtacks. It was gory, it was violent, it said everything that WWE would never do with their women, or with their men for that matter. And Dr. Britt Baker, she lost to Thunder Rosa, but what an amazing match. They both came out of it looking like stars as far as I'm concerned. I guess Thunder Rosa has to face Hikaru Shida, and I think she kind of needs to win, but maybe not. This is AEW. They plan things out really well. But Dr. Britt Baker, wow, she showed she's a star, and she knows what she's doing. I was so impressed with this match. I couldn't believe the level of violence they went to with women. And it was impressive, and it was downright gory, and it was messy, and they did exactly what needed to happen there, and they were not afraid to go there. And this was a long match, and it was stiff shots, and as I said, thumbtack spots, blood, everything you don't see in WWE, and you would never see blood in a WWE match, especially with women. So they set themselves apart. I thought this was one of the best, this is definitely probably the best match, the best women's match in AEW history. And this, to me, really puts the women center stage here and shows that they can be just as good as the men in AEW. And they needed to have this match, and they needed to deliver, and they did. And I think all eyes now are on the women now, and the women are going to really start to shine. So they need to just pick up the pace and just go with it, because they set the table here. They set the table for some great stuff, and I am very impressed with AEW Dynamite. Now let's move on to the next thing that happened. We had the Pinnacle promo. We had MJF delivering the promo. He had FTR, Wardlow, Tully Blanchard, Sean Spears all in the ring, and he called them the Pinnacle, and he cut the greatest promo. Really good, setting the table for who he is and saying that and he said at the very end, I'm better than you, and you know it. And he said it was so hard for him to sit there and talk about how great Jericho was and think of him as the GOAT when he knew he was the greatest. It was such a good hail promo. It sets the table. It sets the stage for the Inner Circle to be baby faces. This was a tremendous promo. I can't wait. MJF continues to improve, and I thought this was great. He showed he can lead a faction, and this is the way to do it. The next thing that happened was we had the Good Brothers versus Kingston and Moxley. I can't remember who actually won this match. So we're going to have to see here. My notes don't have it here, but this was a hard-hitting match. it wasn't. It's not as memorable, I would say, as the Dr. Baker Thunder Rosa, which I don't think I'm ever going to forget, and just an amazing match. But yeah, wow, so good. Yeah, the Good Brothers. Let's see here. There we had Moxley and Kingston won. They won in 10 minutes. Yeah, Mox. Yeah, why don't I remember? Yeah, now I remember. The Mox got the cradle on Anderson, and then afterwards, Kenny Omega and Don Callis came out and they beat the crap out of Kingston and Moxley, and they did the Pillman spot with the chair and everything, and they were going to do it again. And the Bucks came out, and it looks like the Bucks are going to be the thorn in Omega's side, as they did not, they were not cool with this. So this was kind of an interesting little thing here, because it looks like, yeah, yeah, it looks like the Bucks turned down the group, and Kenny was angry, and this I like this because this sets up the Bucks, and I think the Good Brothers, which is gonna probably be the next program for them. Shivani interviewed Sting and Darby Allin, and Brian Cage, I think, has turned face, as he said that you earned my respect, Sting. Good stuff. So it's probably gonna be Sting and Brian Cage versus Lance Archer and somebody else. Probably somebody from Team Taz, maybe Ricky Starks, because they were pretty upset with him doing what he did. So I thought this was a good Dynamite. We got a little promo in the back from Christian Cage, who said, he wants the title, but he's going to earn it. Also, we had Miro, who looks like he's breaking up with Kip Sabian, and he wants the title. He wants the world title, and he looks serious. And I like what they're doing. A lot of good stuff here, and yeah, AEW, they just continue to impress. And when we come back, we'll talk about W. Well, this is going to be kind of a short WWE thing, because I thought Raw was awful and SmackDown was only okay. Raw, nothing really happened here. We found out that Drew McIntyre and Sheamus are gonna fight. We found out that Drew McIntyre is facing Bobby Lashley at WrestleMania. So that's something interesting. The only big thing of note here on Raw was Shane and Braun Strowman had a match where Shane used a television camera and got the better of Braun Strowman, which is just amazing that they're going to make a giant look subservient to Shane. And then Shane dumped green slime on him, 2 buckets of it. And apparently they're going to fight at Fastlane, which to me is just like, if Braun Strowman doesn't just like kill Shane McMahon in like 2 minutes, it's the wrong move, because they've just made him look so dumb and so weak. Sheamus and Lashley were the main event. Lashley ended up winning with the spear, 1, 2, 3. So they're setting up Lashley and Drew McIntyre, and should be a good match, because we haven't seen it. So I'm excited to see what they do there. But the Shane and Braun Strowman stuff is just awful. Alexa Bliss challenged Randy Orton to a match, so I gotta believe that Randy Orton and the Fiend are going to have a face-off. If they don't, I don't know when they're doing it. And I gotta imagine the Fiend is gonna look different, seeing as he was burned alive. So hopefully he's got like a new mask or something new and looks really cool, but who knows? Let's talk about SmackDown. This was kind of a boring SmackDown. I didn't really care that much about it. I liked the 2 things that I liked on it were the promo that Daniel Bryan cut on with Roman Reigns on the stage, And Daniel Bryan said that, he is going to do everything he can to make him tap out or pass out because he's going to be the champion. He's going to be the Universal Champion at the end of the night. And I thought it was really good because Roman came out and was just like, you don't have a chance. You got as much chance of lightning coming out of your butt than you do of you beating me. And it was really good because, Daniel Bryan just, he got in his face and he was just like, look, my only fear is that you don't die because of how hard I'm going to go after you. Really good. I like this. This made this match seem very important. And Daniel Bryan is so good at that. And that's why Daniel Bryan needs to be in the main event at WrestleMania with Roman Reigns and Edge. Which brings us to the main event, which was Edge versus Jey Uso. I hate to say this, but I don't know how else to say it. Edge looks old. He looks really old, and it's kind of sad to watch, but I don't know what else to say. He looks old. He beat Jey Uso with the spear. His spear is awful compared to Roman Reigns' spear. I don't know what they're doing. He had new tights. His tights look like they were the North Carolina Tar Heel colors, seeing as he does live in North Carolina now. So I think that was a little tribute there. But yeah, so Edge will be the special enforcer in the Roman Reigns versus Daniel Bryan match. And the winner will be the champion. So hopefully Daniel Bryan comes out of this looking good and he gets to be put into the main event because he needs to be in there. Oh, and then Sami Zayn did the hell of a kick on Kevin Owens. So it looks like we're going to have Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens for the 90th time at WrestleMania. Ooh, I can't wait. But yeah, Edge looks old. I feel bad saying that because, he's really trying hard. It's not like it's not like it's anything he's done, but it just is. But I think the ideal match would be Roman Reigns versus Daniel Bryan versus Edge. Everybody wins. I think they would put on a great match, and I think that's where they need to go. But we don't know. But Fastlane is this Sunday, and we will find out what the plans are for WrestleMania. And I still think that Triple H is going to get involved. Oh, and the New Day won the tag titles back on Raw, and they're going to be facing Omos and AJ Styles. So they're doing Shawn and Diesel, and that will happen at WrestleMania. So I don't know. I do still imagine, though, Triple H is going to be involved at this WrestleMania, but I don't know. But I kind of think he is. Oh, and then Edge, Big E and Apollo Crews had like kind of a face-off thing. It was kind of okay, and it was kind of dumb. But that's what I want to see happen at Fastlane. And when we come back, I will end with my one of my favorite Raw moments. So stay tuned. So my Raw moment this week is Punk returning. And I will set the stage. This is Raw. It is July 25, 2011, or July 25th, 2011. And on this, I'll set the stage here. At Money in the Bank 2011, Punk won the championship from John Cena and ran away with it. And so Vince was fired the next week on Raw, and Triple H assumed control. And then they made a match for the vacant title on Raw with Rey Mysterio versus The Miz. Rey Mysterio won, so he won the WWE title. And then Cena challenged him that night and beat him. So all's well that ends well. Look, it's the same stuff. Then new music hits. Music we haven't heard before, but people that know ROH know this song. And this is the first time we hear Cult of Personality. and they don't show anything on the Titantron for like 2 minutes, and then all of a sudden Punk's logo appears on there, and you hear this huge pop, and he comes out with the WWE title, and he stands next to Cena, who's got the fake title, and we've got the two champions battling it out. But what I like about this moment is this was, well, Punk came back, but he got the new music. He had been using, this Fire Burns from Killswitch, and then now he has moved on to Cult of Personality by living dangerously. Is that the name of the band? I can't remember the band who does Cult of Personality. It's been so long. But you hear that song, and when it played, I mean, I knew it. Living Color. What did I say? I said Living Dangerously. I meant Living Color. Living Colors, Cult of Personality, and he used this in ROH. But when he came out in ROH, he came out with the Nancy Sinatra theme from Kill Bill. That like and then you would hear the Cult of Personality music hit, and he would come out. Whereas here it's WWE, so they have to always put their own little twist on it. So we didn't have like that static sound yet. It was just Cult of Personality playing, and like nobody knew what it was, although, real Punk fans know what it was. I mean, because you watched, if you knew him from ROH, you knew that song. And he came out, and it was such a cool moment. As Punk was back, he was the champion, and they were like off to the races with the Summer of Punk. Now, this did not go as well as we all hoped it would, because it didn't make Punk the top guy that he should have been. But it was a great beginning. Punk wins the title from John Cena at Money in the Bank in Chicago, Illinois. And then the next night, he's not there. And then he came out like at Comic-Con and challenged people and stuff. And they should have just kept him doing that a little bit longer. But here they used this, a week later to bring him back because they wanted him for SummerSlam with John Cena. Which was, a good way, but they don't have any ideas, and it would have been much better as a long-term story because Punk was red hot. He was the hottest guy in the company, and once again, this company squandered the opportunity. So watching Punk come out to Cult of Personality for the first time is such an awesome moment to me, and one of my favorite moments. I love listening to that crowd when they finally realize it's Punk. As I said, ROH fans know who he is, Ring of Honor, because that's the song he came out to before he signed his WWE contract on the ROH title. It's one of the coolest moments in ROH, and here he is bringing that music in there. So the Punk of ROH is kind of blending with the WWE Punk. The only problem is we don't get the Pepsi plunge, but it's probably not good on his knees, and we know Triple H could never do the pedigree from the top rope. But the Pepsi plunge was a pedigree from the top rope, and Punk did that, and that was his move. But, yeah. So, one of my favorite moments of Raw, and I suggest you go and watch it before, who knows if we're going to be able to watch it. I mean, I think it's still on there, but we don't know. But let's hope the WWE Network falls in line and works well, but I don't know. I think it might be several months before we get it. So I want to say thank you for listening. As always, you can reach me at my handle at Justin Yance, and I will see you next time on the DMF.